Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Monday morning edition of the Mop. That is right, starting out a new week, starting it out on fire. It is going to be blazing hot in southwest Wisconsin. We are going to see temperatures in the upper 90s with heat indexes in the hundreds. That doesn't bode well for chubby guys like me. I'm told I can't use the word fat anymore because there's not a whole lot there. I will tell you, when you lose all your weight and it comes from your butt, men have this problem, I think, when you just get old anyway. I think we lose our butt. It hurts to sit on it. I was on the lawnmower 3 hours yesterday mowing the yard, and I love mowing. But anytime I'm in the car now, and anytime I'm just anywhere where I got to sit longer than like an hour, my butt hurts. And I think it's because there's nothing back there, and according to my wife, there's nothing back there anymore. So I'm not all ass like people say I am, I guess. So, you can question a lot, but my integrity is not one of them. I will be straightforward, sometimes blunt. You can tell people that, and that's fine. I struggle a lot of times since my stroke. I was kind of different before. I could at least just kind of let it slide, but there's no gray area for me. And I am straightforward, and I am very blunt. And sometimes what goes on up here doesn't always come out here in the most nicest manner. The neighbor found that out a week ago. And I'm trying to work on that. But sometimes it just happens. But I have been trying to be more understanding, more just let things roll a little. I can't do it. I've tried and tried. And so, you can question a lot of things. But who I am and what I stand for will never be questioned. I stand for a lot of things, and I try to help and if you need help, I'm there. If anybody I know, and if you know me, I'll be there for you. If you need anything at all, it is to just give a call or a message, and that's where it's at. See, I hear a lot from people, oh, we'll be there. And then crickets. Or, why don't you ever call me? Why don't I? Because it's a lack of energy on my end. If I have to do all the work, I pretty much just cut that off. There's no need anymore. I'm sorry. If it's not a return thing, I'm not going to waste my time doing it. I don't have the energy to do it. I don't want to have to be just a pawn to be played. So, that's where I'm at. But I have had my integrity questioned over the last probably week and a half, 2 weeks. And I will tell you that if you are blaming me for not telling the truth or spreading lies or anything like that, you will need to be patient, because the truth will come out. The truth will come out. People will know what's going on soon. And if it makes you uncomfortable, then you might want to look at your own story and see what happens. But I'm just tired. I'm tired of people bashing the people that are trying to do the best, but yet they feel that what they're hearing from someone else is the truth. And I get it. If you're friends or whatever, you're hoping your friends tell you the truth, or the people that you have high respect for are telling you the truth. But sometimes that is spun, and it is not the case. So, just remember, I've said it before, if you're out there spreading all this stuff, When the truth comes out, you better be able to come back, eat crow, and apologize to the people that you've affected. So, on to bigger things. On to the reflection pool. Has anybody noticed the whole story behind all this? And then now Iran and U.S. were bombing each other. Now they're back on. A lot of things are happening because of market manipulation. Have you noticed when all of a sudden oil was getting released, we're going to see cheaper prices. We're going to start seeing, and then the stock markets fluctuate and everybody goes, woohoo, I'm making money. Yeah. And then all of a sudden shit happens and then it goes the other way. Do you know how much? I'm trying to figure out when did it become okay for this? Martha Stewart went and did her thing and everybody's like, oh, that crooked, blah, blah, blah. And Richard Nixon, I believe, did similar things with Watergate that we're seeing. And he ended up having to resign and do all that. When are we starting to hold people accountable for all the shit that goes on right now? When are we going to do that? Or does the law not apply anymore? Did all of a sudden we get to 1990 and just go, shit, throw it all out the book? You know, I do see the Alcatraz of Florida closed. When are we going to start looking at corruption is corruption? You know, everybody wants to blame local authorities around here and do all that. And I don't know. Why put anybody in jail, I guess? If you can't put who's in charge of this country in jail and all ifs. But remember, Chris, that guy did it way back when. That guy. Or that guy. It seems to always go back to an excuse. Well, yeah, he's probably doing it, but somebody did it before him. So that gives you get out of jail. Well, okay. This is where I'm going to get called that I'm a libtard or something. And I'm not. I'm common sense. So when people are believing that the pool got cut with box cutters or knives, and they're believing that, they didn't roll out a rubber liner and paint it. They painted concrete. And the slash, did anybody ever look at the slash where supposedly it happened? Was actually the drain for the pool? Just curious. Maybe I'm the goofball. Maybe I don't understand what's going on. I don't know. But there's a lot of stories that have a lot of truth that at some point will come out. And it's going to be epic, to needless to say, to see how many tuck their tails and run instead of manning up and saying, you know what, I screwed up. I was batting for the wrong side and they shafted us. You gotta take time. And everybody's watching everything online anymore with AI and everything else, and a lot of videos look really good. And there's so much stolen content out there. You have to really start seeing the names of who posted what. Look at the names. Xing Sheng Hua and all written in Chinese, probably not an accurate source. But everybody believes their own channel is for news and stuff is the real one. Everything else is fake and fraud and whatever. Start using up here. Don't let you be, I always wondered how like David Koresh or the Jonestown man, I always wondered how the hell did people fall into that? And now I'm seeing it. I'm seeing people fall into the same scenario currently. And if you're a Republican, you feel like you have to be against everything that the same with Democrats. They have to. Why? Why can we not? Because now we had a bipartisan bill to help with housing, and the president said, screw you until you give me what I want. I'm not signing it. We had two parties agree on one bill, and we couldn't get it passed because the mango guy said no. To me, that's wrong, period. If you have both parties agreeing on it, it shouldn't be up to one man to decide. To say, nope, screw you, I'm not doing it until you give me what I want. That should have been a simple pen. Away you go. But I think you cost your party a lot of votes by not doing that. I think you've cost your party a lot of votes by throwing the Republican people, such as Marjorie Taylor Greene and everybody else, under the bus, because all of a sudden they're not in favor of you. So when you do that, you become to look like the person you really are. So if you're still going to try to convince me that he is the best leader this world has, I'd have to say you're far from knowing how to run anything. And that has nothing to do with political affiliations. I will tell you that us not having insurance and what people are paying to have health insurance, and everybody wants to bitch about that, but yet nobody wants to have a plan on that side. Everybody can tell me. I hear Derek Van Orden bitching about it all the time. But yet he has no plan. He has no plan. He just wants to bitch about Rebecca Cook or whatever else, or who's draining this. Tom Tiffany's the same way. But nobody comes up with a plan. What is your plan for health care for us? What is it to bring down prices of drugs and everything else? It's pretty sad. It's a sad state. So, with that said, I am going to try to stay cool this week, because I may lose. If I lose a few more pounds, it'll be fine. But enjoy your day. Try to use common sense when it comes to things and move forward. If you have AC, congratulate. For those without AC, find a cooling shelter. Reach out for help. Don't let the extremes take you that way. Okay? If you need help, reach out for it. There will be people there. There will be people for you. And as always, take time to bless somebody today, which could be what I'm just talking about, is checking on somebody, making sure they're going to a cooling center, whatever it may be. Make sure you get your, if you need help with anything, always reach out. Reach out before you decide it's not worth reaching out anymore. Don't go down that road. There will be somebody there for you. Message me. I'll try to find out avenues to go about, ways to help. There's food pantries and stuff like that. May have to pocket some pride, and I know how hard that is, but reach out and look for the good in some things. There is good out there yet. There's plenty of good. It just seems like right now we have no navigational beacon to follow. It is just the good Lord above, which is the big beacon, as long as you believe. There's quite a few that don't believe in that too, which is your right. That's your right to whether you do or don't. I know my life without him above would be totally different. He has helped me through many things. So, yeah. Thank you, Cindy. Cindy just posted that too on here, that Grant County Emergency Management, and I'm sure Richland County will be opening theirs too. Usually the community center in Richland County, or Richland Center, is open. So please take time and make sure you check on your neighbors, check on your friends to make sure everybody's okay. So with that said, have a great day. Truly appreciate it. I've got a lot of great friends, and one I talked to this weekend is doing a lot of good things, trying to help out a lot of people with, either starting businesses, and he does a lot of things. I'm not going to mention his name right now, but he's doing a lot of things back home in Aiken for no recognition other than to prove, because that town was miserable to him, that he has made an improvement and made something of himself. And he has made a hell of a lot more improvement and made some of himself than people with a lot of money in that town have. So he is doing a lot of things. And that's usually how it works, is people with money just tend to be where they're at. And then the guys in the middle class that were pushed down, pushed around, talked about, all of a sudden are doing great things. So with that said, have a great day. I will talk to you tomorrow morning with another edition of the Mop. And thank all of you for tuning in. I don't do this for views. I do it just to clear my head. It's a lot of stuff goes on up there, and a lot of things that I can't make sense of. It gets jarbled up there. So sometimes these kind of wander around in circles, but that's what happens. So, as always, take time to bless somebody today, and I'll be back tomorrow morning.